Gary, welcome to the program. Glad to have you.
Great to talk to you, Ernie and Molly.
Apple iPad3.
Well, yes, actually, it looks like they're not going to be calling it an iPad 3, and we're going to find out definitively tomorrow in San Francisco. But right now, reliably, it looks like it's going to be called the iPad HD, because the screen is going to be in full high def, and we're talking the finest quality, and Apple is known for always being on the cutting edge that way. So when you're streaming movies or playing games on it, it will be as though you're living inside of your iPad, which is ultimately the plot of their play, right?
You know, it's amazing when you think about what you can fit in that thin little strip of metal or plastic or whatever they're making. That it's just amazing what they can do now.
Yeah, and it not only does that, it's going to allow you to do video calls in high definition. Now, this is going to compete with the networks in many ways. It's not the same quality as a full-on high-def, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 camera, but with the right lighting and the right sets, you are now at that level with an iPad. As you point out, Ernie, is the thickness of a, couple of pieces of paper. This is a real game changer in the world.
So now you're going to be able to make phone calls on the thing. It surprises me because now they're, in essence, competing with the iPhone.
Well, that's okay, right? That's okay. The iPhone you can slip in your pocket. The iPad you can slip in your...
Big pocket.
Big pocket,
yeah.
Yes, your
Move it on from
BP.
there.
Exactly. Now, here's some interesting thoughts. Some individual people, because, we're a very entrepreneurial bunch, we Americans. A lot of people have already gone out and taken iPadHD.com as their own. Will they be sued by Apple? Probably so, if indeed that is the name of the thing. So everybody is thinking so ahead of the game because the stock is so valuable and grabbing the Apple brand and putting it out on the internet and owning it so they can sell it back to Apple. So this is also a new economy that Apple has created a new technology, but we're creating an economy to sort of get something back for it, I think.
Well, Harrison, if you're going to make phone calls on your iPad HD, does that mean that whoever's seeing you will see you in HD? Because you know how when you watch your news programs for the first time in HD, all of a sudden the anchors look 20 years older?
Yes. Now, in L.A., it will be different, Molly, and I'll tell you that. The level of Botox here is so voluped that we don't have that issue. But other places that we might call there will be wrinkles shown. Again, that's a lighting trick. But when we say phone calls, we're talking about video calls, not traditional landline phone calls as a regular iPhone will make, but these are basically like Skype calls, but they're proprietary to the iPad. So yeah, they're high def.
So you'll see the other person in HD. Yikes.
You'll see it all. You'll be able to see, flecks in the iris. That's the quality of the lens here. So imagine the kind of peepery you could do with this thing if you were taking the Republican pledge.
John on the board says he'll be sure to trim his nose hairs before making a phone call. I do want to ask you about the Samsung is voice operated. This sounds fantastic, but we only have 30 seconds.
Yeah. What it means is no buttons at all on a remote control. You will literally talk to it, like on the Starship Enterprise, and say, I want channel 93. Ooh, it's zoom in.
The best news of my life.
I keep telling you, you need to get out more.
Yeah, well, that's true. But this sounds great.
I love the idea of this voice. That's something I can give my dad because he's still afraid of the technology. This is Kerry Harrison, LA News commentator, founder of GoHarrison.com, the host of Think Green Radio and Science and Tech Geek Guru for GoHarrison.com. Thanks so much for coming on. Good to talk to you again.
Have a great day, you guys.
Thanks, Harrison.
Coming up on a